Well, if you heard that, then it means that I have to answer it. I'll do that. Well, you're welcome to the one conversation that's going to change your life forever. Okay. I know that maybe you saw the flyers and you're thinking, okay, so marriage is a salad of emotions, I'm telling you. It's a bowl full of all things, pleasant, unpleasant. But I always say the topping is Christ. And if that's the good topping that you have, then everything's going to go well. And we have in studio Reverend Roland, right? I want to say it very well. He's a counselor. He's a pastor. He's a great man of God. And he's been helping us real good. And also Counselor Tracy. She's ever looking nice. So the more you see Reverend Roland, you know that's Counselor Tracy's that the back coming. That Coco calls them the perfect duo. I don't know how to call them, but they're just amazing people. Good morning.
Good morning. Della.
Yeah. My album is coming out very soon.
I hear you.
Very soon, the name of Jesus, no weapon. I'm telling you, yes. And you'll be playing in your church.
Absolutely.
You have to play. But it's not the regular worship.
I will dance to that.
You dance to it. All right now. Oh my son. Okay. But the last time we met, I must say that conversation about forgiveness, look, if you had a church service, I would have given testimony on behalf of most of my friends that watched.
Wow.
And they were saying that, look, this is really insightful. People really talked about it. You know, I said the fact that personally, I was like, okay, now the weight is lifted off Kakra. Yeah, the rest is for Koku. I'll forgive him later. So, aside that, people could identify with the fact that it might not be easy to forgive, but the fact that you have it at the back of your mind that, okay, it's a gift to me, of which I can give to myself, and myself deserves it, then that's okay. So I had lots of feedback from that. So on behalf of my friends and loved ones and people who watched on YouTube and Facebook, God bless y'all.
God bless you too.
Yeah, so today we're going to delve into forgiveness in marriage. Because I'm thinking, I've seen people, go extra with marriage. And we've even had conversations about how people would want to sort of be abused, before certain things, like sex would make sense to them and all of that. I have noticed that God's original plan and purpose for his kingdom is supposed to go through the family system, right? So, which means that the family is supposed to be like the microcosm of God's plan, which is the microcosm. How it is that an institution this beautiful and sacred, created by God's own hands, at the point we need breaking off and putting together. How does that even work?
Well, a very good morning to your viewers and to all of us here. Marriage is basically the portrait of God in the earth realm. The devil did not attack Adam because Adam was God limited, in a limited version.
Right.
So when Eve came, he completed the full picture of God. And he says, now it's time to strike. So anytime the devil sees marriage, he sees the face of God. That is why he's at marriages. Okay. I repeat, when Adam was on the scene, the enemy never attacked. Because he said that male and female created he them. Okay. Now, God made man in his image. You move down, male and female created he them. Now the full picture of God is on display. At first, I could only see one side of God's cheek. Now the other part, the female has come to add to the full portrait. I can see the one who is the target of my attack now. So then he has to use the serpent to actually cause the first confusion. And so the reason why marriages are not thriving, most of them are not thriving, is because there is a demonic attack on the image, if not the portrait of God. Right? Once he succeeds, he feels that at least I've been able to attack the one who expelled me out of, from my place of standing. That is the reason why there is so much attack on it. And you see, when it comes to unforgiveness, it has to do with the fact that the devil actually makes you fight your spouse, because unforgiveness is the only thing that makes you fight God. When Christ came to the earth, he came to forgive our sin. The word is sin, not sins, which is rebellion. Okay? So anybody who exhibits unforgiveness, in a nutshell, you are actually antichrist, because you are going against everything he stood for. So for him to inject unforgiveness into marriages imply that I'm fighting the very institution that God is going to use to actually solve global issues, solve worldly issues. If I'm able to attack that institution, it means I'm cutting the tree from the root. And that is the reason why we have so much chaos and mayhem in the institution of marriage.
You will still marry? Or you want to explain? Because that's why they say marriage is not for kids. Because if you're going to carry out God, literally, his mind, his precepts, his principles, his being, this ain't the baby stuff. It's not for children.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really big. So, Lady Tracy, from what Rev said, that tells me that, okay, so the devil will attack from the root, which is marriage, which stems, and then, so that gives birth to children, and then there's sibling rivalry, then it goes external, and all of that. So, take me through how we can start to begin to commence to forgive in this institution. Because mind you, you're forgiving somebody who probably might never accept that they're wrong. Somebody you have decided to spend the rest of your life with. Your heart is still in the balance. I forgive you, but I'm still looking at you. I forgive you, but I'm still going to have to give you time to literally process and change.
I forgive you, but I don't trust you.
Thank you very. You're preaching right now.
According to Ruth Graham, that's Billy Graham's wife. She said that a good marriage is one between two forgivers.
What?
A good marriage, or a successful marriage, is one between two forgivers. So it means when the two of you come together to marry, it's not supposed to be between two perfect people, between two forgivers, or between two offenders. I know you are an offender, or you can be a potential offender. I'm also a potential offender. Both of us are not perfect. If we have that in mind, then when there's any issue, both of us should forgive. And forgiveness is not supposed to be, I forgave you last week, so let's say next year. It's supposed to be on a daily basis. Choosing your spouse every day. But it's not easy. Let me quote what my spiritual father said, Reverend Elvis Sajiman, that's the chief Alfarian. He says that marriage is a game of offenses. Marriage is a game of offenses. So before you enter into marriage, you need a forgiving heart. You are permitted to enter into marriage without a kitchenette, without a TV, without a fridge, without a sofa. What you are not permitted to enter is without a forgiving heart. So if you don't know how to forgive, you don't have any business to do with marriage. Because you'll be offended most by the person you love the most. So anytime I take people through premarital counseling, I tell them that, you know what? You don't learn to forgive when you are in marriage. If you're a good Christian, what does the good book say? The Bible says you should learn how to forgive. You should learn so many things. So if you are actually going by what the Bible says, Reverend said that time when we were talking about is it singleness, you're supposed to build character, build morals. You're supposed to learn how to forgive. Practice that before you enter into marriage. If you are waiting to forgive when you can never do that. So to my singles, if you are ready or planning to get married, before marriage, some of the requirements are you do is there a sickling test to know your sickling type? That's the genotype. You get to know of your blood group.
Yes.
You also do, is it an HIV test to know your status?
Yes.
But we don't even think about forgiveness. It's also important. So I tell the people.
Test we have to run because.
So I met some people for premarital counseling, and they were able to satisfy all the requirements. I asked them, "Do you know how to forgive?" They said, Auntie Teresa said yes. If you don't know how to forgive, go back home. Go and learn how to forgive. Because if you cannot forgive, you cannot get married. If you don't know how to do that, go and learn it. It's not for children, no. Because you see, in the home, the man, I said it at that time, the man is a father and is a husband. The woman is also a mother and a wife. So when the husband and wife have issues, mother and father should still operate. But to some people, once husband and wife are actually having issues, co-parenting, they shut down. So what if, you see, when two elephants fight, it's the ground that suffers. So sometimes when the husband and wife are having issues, they can't even co-parent. So the kids actually go through a lot. Marriage is not for children. And if you do not know how to forgive, please don't go and waste anybody's time. Don't. Because if you hear some of the issues, it's sad. And sometimes someone says, this is how I am. You either take me this way. It's bringing about a lot of issues. Just forgive. It's not easy to forgive, but you have to for your own peace. Yeah.
Rev, from the perspective of one man, leader, father of the home, how do you start to forgive and leave a trail that your home would follow? What are some of the things to be done as the man?
Okay, so before I talk about that, of course, Christ is the perfect model, okay, when it comes to the husband.
Right.
Okay, he is the husband to his bride, the church. Okay, so he's the one we actually look up to. But then again, why don't we look at what actually breeds unforgiveness in marriages? Because they may not be the same as what breeds unforgiveness in other relationships. Okay, in our Ghanaian context, especially where you find yourself in a patriarchal society, infidelity.
Yeah.
A man may sort of engage in side-chickism. You know what I'm talking about?
Ooh, I like that term. Side-chickism. All right now.
Now, that can be overlooked and even normalized. But when a woman does same, she will severely go unpunished. As she will be punished for that. That's what I mean to say. For example, Amma realizes that Kofi has bought a house for his side chick at Villaggio, or let's say Trasacco. Kofi owns up and comes to apologize. Amma will find it very difficult to forgive Kofi because she believes that her trust has been shattered and she's been taken for granted. And now the big one is in-laws, interference. Imagine an in-law comes and says that, you know what, you've married my son, you are not giving birth, you are barren, you are a witch and all these things. And later your in-law comes to apologize. You know what is going to happen? It will be very easy for the wives to forgive the in-law than the husband because you stood there, you never defended me. And the worst of all is this, neglect or emotional abandonment, where you feel unseen. You are there, but the man doesn't even see you. You feel unloved. When he saw you under the coconut tree, he gave you all the rat poison. After one baby coming out, two babies coming out, a bit of, I wouldn't call it deformity, figure has sort of changed.
Yeah.
And then he actually wouldn't want to budge. He doesn't want to even have anything to do with you. You are overwhelmed with so many. So all these things actually contribute to some kind of resentment. You see, the wound is not your fault, but the healing is your responsibility. You have to understand it that way. So as the husband of the home, you have to understand that everything rests on your shoulder. You're supposed to be the example, if not the epitome of example in your home. Okay? Let the man follow Christ and let the family, the wife follow suit. And the kids. So I see the home setting to be like a nation, let me put it like a country where we have the president being the man, the wife being the vice president, and then the kids will be, let's say,
Cabinet minister.
Well, cabinet minister. The president, because he presides, the man presides over everything. Okay? If you look at the woman, she is the vice. When you add AD to, she's supposed to advise the man, okay, to do things. But here's the case in a cultural setting. The man takes a unilateral decision. I am the man of the home. Whatever I say is final. Okay, so the man is supposed to use what we call the train system. It says, train up the child the way he should go. When he grows, he will not depart from it. So the train, if you look at the train as a vehicle, you realize that the engine actually finds itself at one portion.
Right.
The rest has to do with the thread, or let's say the cabin. So if the father is the head of the family or the home, wherever the engine goes, the rest of the cabins follow. That is the family system. So he is supposed to be the one to initiate forgiveness, teach about forgiveness in the home, teach your wife to actually know how to forgive, because women keep a lot of resentment. Men do, but we don't actually express those. Women can just speak their mind and they are cool.
Yeah.
However, they tend to be hurt the more than men. That's what I'm saying. So we have to look at Christ being the perfect model and then raise our kids when it comes to training, using the train system. And I think that it should be fine. Okay, and then of course, well, we have what you call the emotional focused couples therapy. Here we're dealing with emotions. Okay, we actually applied that where we sort of de-escalate. That's the first one. We talk about restructuring interaction, and then we consolidate.
I wish you would take us through these de-escalation and all of that, step by step. I mean, because people are looking at, another reason I didn't even want us to look at, some of the things that causes unforgiveness, because for some people, what should not mean anything to you means everything to them. Right? So probably like what you're talking about, the, a woman feeling like, okay, I'm not being seen and all that. Maybe to her, it's not as deep as when she feels like, okay, because of that, you're gaslighting me. Yeah. So it means different things to different people.
Yeah. That was what we started with. At first, you were all over me. So you see, don't start what you can't continue. Yeah.
That's why it's not for children, because they play a little and leave the toy and they want something else. That's why it's not for kids.
Well, and people too are not communicating. I think if you don't want something, you see, that is what brings about a resentment.
Right.
This thing, I don't like this you are doing, and you don't talk about it. You excuse the pain, you pretend. I don't know whether maybe the other partner is also doesn't want to listen to you, but I just bottle everything up. And one day it's, exactly. So I think that if your spouse is doing something that you don't want, just let the person know. Let the person know. Because if you don't, and this resent, it will get to a point that it will become something else. Okay, and we also encourage that if you are about to get married, you also come and take this temperament test. Because when you know the temperament, you know the weaknesses of
the other person.
So when it happens that we are already guarded, you go there prepared. You know this person does this. This person is an introvert. This person is disorganized. So if you come and see my shoes all around, it's not as though I wasn't brought up properly, but it's just because of the weakness of my temper. I mean, we're not saying that you should also just sit down and say, that's my weakness, so I'll mess the place up. No, but that is what I do. And you need a lot of patience to help me come out of that. So we are different individuals. Like you said, what will cause me pain, Reverend will just see and say, this is nothing, exactly. So we should just try to accommodate. We should try to, you see, marriage is a form of adjust. We just need to adjust. Bedela, we are all not perfect people. So as God is forgiving you, as other people are forgiving you, if someone, you should also offend, someone should offend, just forgive the person. It's not easy, but you have to, for your own peace. Yeah.
I like peace. I don't want war. So, but Rev, I mean, like I said before, let's go through the de-escalation, the processes,
Okay,
so that
so
we can understand.
I think that unforgiveness has destroyed many relationships than divorce. Divorce, we are separate. I mean, we actually have gone our separate ways. But with the unforgiveness, we are still in the institution. My BP is up, it's spiked, you know, hypertension. I'm dying every day, you know. Okay, so when it comes to the emotionally focused couples therapy, we have what you call the, we have it in stages, okay? The first one is to, first of all, look at the offense cycle.
All right.
Okay, because the whole thing is cyclical. It goes, we forgive each other, and it happens, it recurs. Okay, we look at the offense cycle, and then we look at the emotions that feed the cycle. Okay. What do you guys do to keep this thing running? Okay, that's the first thing that we actually look at. So if we're able to assess that and we get to know, then we are about 80%, you know, through. Then we look at the restructuring of interaction, where we call the couples to tell each other, you know, you did this thing, and that is the reason why I also behave this way. You become vulnerable to each other. You air out your grievances, you know, to each other. Let her know that, listen, whenever I see you talk on phone for 2-3 hours, I feel jealous, you know. Whenever I see you, you know, online, as a man working online, I feel like you are chatting a lady. So just be vulnerable. Talk to the person about how you feel. That is the restructuring of interaction. And then consolidation is, okay, this is what we are going to do henceforth to ensure that it doesn't repeat itself. Okay, that is the consolidation aspect of the EFCT. That is the emotionally focused couples therapy. It is detailed, of course. I just have to summarize it for you to know. When you come into therapy, then we do the
all of that.
intertoes, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So families can start off trying to do this before they come to your desk?
Well, it takes a professional to take you through. You can't do this by yourself because it's an intervention. It's like a medical doctor prescribing something to you. He has to take you through and tell you to come back for review. Okay, and it's not only one intervention we use. So I can use the forgiveness therapy like we did the other time, add this one to it, and maybe add what we call the cognitive behavioral therapy. So it's like a buffet of therapies put together to be able to solve one problem. This actually has been able to solve about 90% of cases. It's actually proven to be very effective, the emotionally focused couples therapy.
I see. Well, Councillor Tracy, I know that we women, sometimes crazy comes with the curves, so the men might not fully understand that part of it. Reverend says that the man must be, you know, head in everything because he rises and falls on leadership. And whilst he's leading, the woman would have to follow suit, right? And then carry the children along.
Yeah.
You also mentioned that the moment the two, you know, big bosses are fighting, the ground surface, which means the children are, you know, in trouble at that point. But I want you to talk to the woman who probably have been in such a situation for longer than life. It has become a way of, like, it has become a description of their family system. Yet you are supposed to help raise children to become different from what you are facing and probably are unable to solve. I catch my flow. How do you maneuver so that your kids don't, because maybe something that you're trying to fix is not fixing, but you have children to raise. And if a child goes bad, it is the mother they point at first.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Okay. So that's why I was saying that the man is both the husband and a father. The woman is a wife and also a mother. So most of the times I say that if you're having issues, please don't involve the kids. Yadala, if I'm having an issue with my husband, and let's say there are exchanges, and the kids actually learn from what they see. They learn a lot from observation. I don't know if you get it. So if there's an issue like that, try and make sure the kids don't even see what you are doing. Because if I should get up, talk to my husband anyhow, insult him, disrespect him, the kids are learning. This is what they also grow up and also become the same thing. I don't know if you understand. Mm-hmm. So if we are women, let's just make sure that whatever we are doing, the kids are watching. We are their mentors. We are their first role models. They are watching everything that we are doing. We'll be telling them, forgive. They go to church, they say, forgive, do this. When someone does this to you, don't do this back. But that is not what my first role models are doing. You are fighting every day. Daddy is beating mommy. Mommy is insulting daddy. This is what we saw. Mm-hmm. So in future, it's possible we will do the same thing. Okay, so we should be the first role models or examples to our kids. That is what I'll say.
One lady told me, Rev, I want my husband to die, but I don't know how to kill him.
Right,
yeah.
I did that.
She saw a text message when the husband was taking his bath. Okay. She picked the husband's phone and the text message reads, "This hole is waiting for you."
Oh. Oh.
She quickly picked the contact, dropped the phone, wanted to dial the number and give it to that lady. When she dialed the number, it was a chorister in the church. And the husband happens to be an elder in the church. Okay. Later, you got to know that the husband has, I think kids out there. So the thing is that, how do you cope? That is why I'm saying that the wound is not your fault. But then again, the healing is your responsibility. You have to forgive. It is not easy, but you have to be processed once again to process the forgiveness and then met it out. And you know the funny thing? The unforgiveness makes you emotional. But when it comes to forgiving, it has nothing to do with emotions. It's a choice. It's a decision. You become emotional because, why must I forgive or whatever? But when it comes to forgiving the other party, it has nothing to do with the way I feel. It's a decision, having gone through the processes, it's a decision you have to take for the sake of the kingdom of God advancing. And for the fact, like Counselor Tracy said, you are the role model, okay, in the home. Why do you think our kids will say that Beyonce is my role model? Michael Jackson is my role model? Because you don't actually live up to expectation. So let me go, import role models out there and live by what they do. If we are able to work on this, knowing very well that the foundation of every relationship or marriage, okay, has to do with knowledge, understanding, of course, wisdom, and also forgiveness buried down there. Okay, we are going to do well in relationships. Trust me. The reason why we are not doing well is because we are actually advancing the agenda of the devil. He injects unforgiveness, and we actually carry the vision and run with it. So we are fighting God, not even the marriage institution. We are fighting God himself. We are destroying the image, his picture in the earth, which is the marital portrait. Yeah.
When did marriages start to probably, what could be the cause of this? Is it that counseling is not deep enough, premarital counseling? Is it, how are marriages missing that part? How is it? What are we doing wrong? What is the church doing wrong? What is the pastor that ordains and announces you, husband and wife? What have they done wrong? What is there to correct so that we don't get to this point again? Right? Yes.
I think that we just rush before marriage, we just rush into, we found this lady with her curves. We don't even do our work very well. I meet this person, Charlie, the spec, everything is fine. I like the person, and they come for counseling. Okay. We also neglect some of the red flags. We see a lot of the things. When people come for they come for marital or conflicts, when they come and there's a conflict in the marriage, you ask them, didn't you see this? Oh yes, I saw it, but I thought the person was going to change. So marriage doesn't change anybody. It actually amplifies whoever you are. So most of the times, people also neglect or they just overlook the red flags, thinking that the person will change. I was watching this movie. I was sharing it with Reverend this morning. Why Marry? By Majid Michelle and Yvonne Okoro. I don't know whether you've watched that movie before. So they were having conflicts. It's so interesting. It's funny, but very interesting. So I realized that both of them, they stopped talking. They were not on talking terms at home. So there was this day, the communication was through text messages and letters. So Majid had a contract, supposed to go for an interview the following day. And she brought out a paper and wrote that, please wake me up tomorrow at 6 a.m. I have a contract, okay, and it comes with a lot of money. So Yvonne was lying on the bed. That's how they communicate. Okay, so she just pasted whatever on the telly, then they both slept. So I think some few minutes to 6 a.m., Yvonne woke up, also pulled the paper and wrote, it's 6 a.m., wake up. She was just so Majid was just sleeping, you know. You see, better like this, it sounds funny, but it's not. You see, we've given the devil the chance. You see, the Bible says that we should not let the sun go down on our anger. There's a reason for that. If you see, people have lost, like Majid's case, he lost his appointment. People have lost lives. A couple, maybe are having issues, conflict. One person is calling. Why is she calling me? Just put your phone some. Maybe your wife is even dying. People have died, lost lives, do these things. You just need to forgive.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Last time we said you're not forgiving the person, not because the person has apologized or the person even deserves it, for your own peace of mind. Seriously. We are losing a lot. Oh. That's what the Bible says. We should not let the sun go down on this anger. Because when it happens that way, I don't want to see you. Someone was telling me last week that a couple have been in a home for, 4 years? And they are not talking for 4 years. So actually, they are housemates. They're not talking for 4 years. And I don't know how, and there are kids around. So, okay, give this to mommy. Okay, then daddy to say. So the kids are already learning.
Can you imagine?
I won't talk to you when you cook. I will not eat. Or the lady too will not cook. When I see you in the morning, I will not greet you. I will not say hi to you. What are we looking for? To what end? To what end? How long can you actually hold on to a grudge? Like Reverend was saying last time, it affects your kidneys, it affects your liver, it affects so many things. You see? So I think it's not easy. If we don't want to go to our graves very early, let's just try and forgive. Let's try and forgive. And also, I would say that this temperament thing is very important. Some people are having issues because they don't even know who they are. My partner has been doing this thing, I don't like it. Sometimes it's even the way you're communicating. The person doesn't even understand whatever you are saying. So you should seek counseling. Sometimes it's not because a person is disrespectful. Some people are, let's say, cholerics. The way they want to be at the center, everything is profit or motive oriented. Everything they want to, profit from it. So you may think, but this is my partner. Every time you want things your own way, it is because of the person's temperament. Our weaknesses. And God created all the temperaments. So we wouldn't say a temperament is bad or another temperament is better. God created all the temperaments. Because these cholerics, when you also find them in the office setting and space, they do very well. Because they are also profit-oriented. They make sure they are the good bosses, make sure things are done very well. So you come to, let's say, someone who is a sanguine. Sanguines are young everywhere. Obafia, shoes are here, clothes are here. We all cannot be sanguines. We all cannot be melancholics. Because when you go to church, you need the sanguines to be the ushers and all those people, frontliners in the offices. And melancholies are also the mood swings. Every time they are moody. You get it? You also need them. They're also very articulate, meticulous and all. So you need them to also be doing these account work and all. So we are supposed to complement each other. My weakness is my weakness. That is where you come in as a spouse, to just complement whatever it is. So I think this temperament thing, we are not doing it. So that is one thing we realize, that we have to also make sure that we teach this temperament. You should know it. Most of the times we don't know our temperament. We enter into the marriage when there are issues. Now we want to come back. So you are doing this because of email, but sometimes the harm would have been, I mean, sometimes you can't even reverse it. Yeah. So before we enter, let's just know our temperament, know who we are in inclusion, in control, in affection. This is my weakness. These are my weaknesses. So you, the person should know, these are the things I need to rise above. I don't know if you understand. We're not saying they are your weaknesses, so sit down and say, no, these are my weaknesses, so I'll continue doing them. No, but I need to rise above them. So when my partner is doing these things, it's just because he's just exhibiting his or her weakness. So I need to help that person. So I think the temperament, we don't know our temperament. That is also one of the issues why there are lots of conflict in marriages. Yeah.
One man told the wife, "You are useless." Later, he came to apologize. You see, it is not the act, but the message that the act sends. Okay, he comes to apologize. So the son, he said that your mother couldn't even hold the marriage, and you see, this lady will forgive you, but you've actually put her in a state where, in the first place, forgiveness becomes very difficult for her to even, met out to you. It's like you are good for. We use hurtful words. We actually invoke curses. We assassinate our character. We bring past issues, and it sort of destabilizes the whole equilibrium. But if we can be intentional, one of the things we also don't do as pastors is we have over-spiritualized everything. Everything demon, everything demon, everything demon, everything demon. But you see, I told my congregation members that, listen, prayer will not solve what God has given you the common sense to do. He's giving you brains with over 5 billion cells to be able to make decisions and do things. And there you are, he is looking up to you, and you are telling me you are looking up to him. It doesn't work that way. So we have to be very intentional. And one of the ways to deal with offenses is to expect more offenses.
Okay, so I really don't know how these things work, but I love the fact that we've looked at stuff that we didn't pay attention to before it got into the marriage. Those are red flags, okay? And then now that you're in there, there's a responsibility of the man, there's a responsibility of the woman. You need to look out for temperaments, right? And then that means that some couples need to have a sit down. Let's look at our temperaments again. Yeah. This is how I can help you through your crazy. And this is how you should be helping me through my crazy. And then if we cannot, they probably will seek a counselor. Is that not it?
Absolutely.
And then we should know what to communicate and how to communicate. Don't say hurtful words to the person and come back and say you want to have sex with the person. How does that even work?
Let me add one thing.
Add it, sister.
And when it comes to the issue of forgiveness, it's an individual affair.
Right.
You see, most of the times we want to forgive, but there are other third parties. Charlie, this thing, if you forgive, it means you're not a man. Something like in-laws. That's why we say that if you're having issues with your spouse, make sure it doesn't get to your in-laws. Because you can forgive your spouse, but your in-laws will never forgive your spouse. So there are times that there was a case where there was, I think, an issue of infidelity where the lady cheated. Okay, so the other lady came of that man. Okay, so she came to make noise and all in the area, in the house. Everybody got to know about the issue. But the guy said, I still love my wife. I actually want to forgive her. And people were like, hey, now what's now her Bema? And a woman has done all this. Another man has come for your wife and you want to forgive.
She has done you, Juju.
Exactly. So sometimes people want to forgive, but because of what other people, because of society, they are not able to. So it's actually a decision. It's an individual, personal decision. So if you want to forgive, just go ahead and do that. You're the ones suffering, those who are asking you not to forgive, they are sleeping somewhere. They are forgiving their spouses and they are enjoying, and you are not. I know of a friend, someone told her, don't eat your wife's food again. Don't do that. Ask that person. I'm sure that person is eating the wife's food, having sex and doing everything, enjoying, and you are there. So I think it's a personal decision. Yeah.
Well, you heard the good counselors. If you're already married, it's not bad at all. We can.
It's too late.
It's
Can't
not
come out.
well, it's too late. You can't come out, but it's not too late to resolve
Absolutely.
issues. And so that's why counselors are there. And Reverend Roland Soa is a fine counselor. You want to, I'll come to your desk very soon. I'll bring all the crazy people in my life and list the Koku is number one. You shall be advised. And then also Counselor Tracy, Tracy Mavis Adai. Yeah, Tracy and Mavis. Hey, very nice name. Yeah, thank you so much for
can I
coming.
say this? We have this psycho-education we haven't done for organizations for free.
Oh.
Yes, so we come, talk about stress, temperament, self-care, forgiveness. We did one recently on forgiveness in organizations, and it's really blessed them. So they can get in touch with us. It's free. We are not charging anything.
Okay, then I
From
think
now
that
to
we'll put the number
December,
out
after
there.
December, you're going to pay big time.
You start with DTV because Mr. Agbenyo has not blessed my life in a very long time. So if you don't send me the Momo, the workshop is for you. Yeah, but thank you so much. And it's just all too soon. We have to, it's when the conversations get nicer, then we have to go. But we'll be doing this tomorrow. In Goku's Voice, we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. Yeah. But join us at 12 for 1 million strong, global 1 million strong. You don't want to miss that, even today. All right, see you tomorrow.